Hello everyone, welcome back. Kevin with Survivalist Boards. Guys and gals, how many of y'all think we are on the verge of another Cold War with Russia? And it's not even, the big question is, has there been a time since the 1950s that we have not been in some type of Cold War with Russia? I would say Soviet Union, but they dissolved a long time ago. You're gonna say, well, Kevin, Cold War was over back in the 1990s. I know what the history books say because I lived through it. I lived through the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, all the way to today. And I know what the history books say. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, yes, there was a period of peace time when things looked like it was going to be doing pretty good. And then, Putin came into power, and Russia's been, I don't know, it's flexing its muscle, I would say. What brought this up is President Trump recently took us out of a nuclear arms treaty with Russia. Some of y'all maybe say, okay, well, so what? That was good, that was bad. Russia has been accused of violating the treaty. So why should we follow the treaty if Russia's violating the treaty? Are we off to another arms race now that we are no longer in this nuclear limitation treaty? And honestly, guys, I don't know. But I'm going to give us a couple of things to watch, okay? I'm going to give us a couple of things to watch. Y'all may be wondering what this is. This is potatoes, corn, onions. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to keep an eye on the Doe Run lead smelting facility. Another thing that President Obama did to handicap the United States was that the last raw lead smelting plant in the United States closed. We have not been able to take raw lead ore and smelt it into a usable product. The only thing we can do is recycled lead, such as batteries, stuff like that. Anything, we can take lead that's already been refined and recycle it into usable lead again. But we cannot take lead straight from the ground, smelt it, and use it. So if it looks like wouldn't it make sense that if we were going to enter another Cold War that we would be able to make our own bullets, smelt our own lead? So let's keep an eye on the Doe Run lead smelting plant so that we can start smelting our own lead. Next thing we want to look for is mass purchases of small arms ammunition. We'll look for the government putting orders for like millions and millions of rounds above and beyond what they would normally buy. Okay, what's that going to do? For the consumer market, that's going to drive up the price of ammunition. Last time I went to Walmart, the 22 ammunition was pretty cheap. They had some of the Remington bricks, and they were pretty cheap, the cheapest I've seen them in years. So if you're expecting some type of Cold War, the United States start gearing up for another Cold War, go ahead and buy that ammunition. Go ahead and buy a couple of boxes above and beyond what you normally do. And y'all are like, Kevin, what's this? I just don't see anything. Well, that's what happens when you plant, guys. You don't see anything for a week or so, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. Soil temperatures, you can put your seed down in the ground, and that seed sometimes will sit there for several weeks. I've had okra seeds sit in the ground for a couple of months before the soil temperature got right, and then the okra sprouted. Corn, potatoes, squash and zucchini, same thing. It could sit in the ground for a month or so, and then whenever the soil conditions, weather gets right, it's just going to sprout. So this is 14 rows of corn. Corn. 4 rows of potatoes that we planted the other day. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got these 2 rows here of okra. No, that's corn. Where are we at? Somewhere in here is this is going to be for okra, and this is onions. These are the onions that we planted a couple of weeks ago. Look how nice they're coming up. Look how nice that is. That one there could have been in the ground a little bit better, ain't that right, Zoe? Oh, Zoe. She's a rescue. Picked her up off the side of the road. Come on, Zoe, get out of the garden. Come on. Okay, so guys, a couple of things to pay attention to. We're going to pay attention if the Doe Run lead smelting plant reopens, or whether they're even talking about reopening it. To me, that'd be a key indicator of what the government's planning on doing. We have to have the ability to take raw lead ore, smelt it into a usable product, and use it for ammunition. So that's going to be a key thing right there, is a Doe Run lead smelting facility. Next thing is buying ammunition above and beyond. Say, well, Kevin, government always buys ammunition. No, it's not that they always buy ammunition. We want to look for special orders, or orders that go above and beyond the normal. So whenever that happens, you can expect powder to dry up, powder for reloading to dry up, disappear, primers to disappear, ammunition shortages on the civilian market. So ammunition shortages and prices to go back up. Those are some of the things that we can expect. Because I saw that decades ago, decades and decades ago. Whenever the military comes in and places an order, the military takes precedence. I mean, anything to say somebody's manufacturing ammunition for a civilian market, well, civilian market gets pushed aside and they're going to manufacture it for military. Onions are looking okay. It's going to take them a couple of weeks to get established though. These are troughs, furrows, and I'm going to come in, I'm going to put some chicken manure down in here because I'm planning on planting in about a month. We're going to be coming in here and putting chicken manure, some other stuff down in here. We got these rows made up. And what we're doing is onions, sowing, and then squash, zucchini, peas, beans, whatever else. And all this is just going to be, this little area right here is going to be for peas and beans, and that over there is going to be for melons and more corn and more peas and more beans. All right, guys and gals, thank you for your patience. And everything that I'm talking about here is I've seen from previous experience. Remember, I grew up in the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s. I've seen whenever tensions start going up between the United States and another world player, the United States will do certain things like they will order just a few 100 million more rounds or 10 million more rounds or whatever of ammunition, especially small arms ammunition. And that will cause ammunition shortages and price hikes on the civilian market. All right, guys and gals, thanks for everything, and I will talk to y'all later.